All right, welcome back to the Surly Talk Sports podcast, the Monday review podcast brought to you by the TAB and Michelob Ultra. An exciting weekend of sport, upsets in both codes. Super Round, did it come the week too early? Couple upsets in your Super Rugby. Shout out to the Drua for getting it done in Canberra. The Chiefs with a last minute, actually an extra time win against the Hurricanes. The Blues with a good dub at home. High scoring game, that one, 87 points in total. Of course, the mighty One New Zealand Warriors got the job done at home. The Bulldogs couldn't go back to back. They got upset by Parra. There's just so much to cover every week. Some great competitions going on. We've got the NBA Finals. Black Ferns Sevens carving up again in Hong Kong. The Black Ferns with a great comeback too. That was a stacked weekend of sport, Henry, mate. I know you were in the Tron for that game too. How was that? Looked like a good crowd, good atmosphere.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't full because I think some people were scared of the rain that was supposed to come but didn't. But yeah, it was good to get down in the Tron. Got down nice and early so that I could settle in for the Warriors in Hamilton. So that was a smart move.
Yep.
Got down there first, watched a good 70 minutes of the Warriors. So actually turned it off at a good time. Then caught the 10 minutes later on that night. But yeah, no, it was a great night in the Tron. First 40 minutes, like I said to you, wasn't exactly the greatest game of rugby of all time.
Yep.
Second 40 and Super Point was really, really good.
Yep.
But yeah, great weekend of sport. Black Ferns. The juggernaut that just continues on.
Crazy, eh?
Black Ferns Sevens, that is.
Yes.
And then the Black Ferns also with a big one.
Yeah, what a second half bounce back from them. I saw the halftime score and thought, shit, they're in trouble. Watch the highlights back.
Beautiful, eh?
Yeah, dominant display in that second half.
And a quick mention to the Premier League. Got up this morning for the Man City Arsenal game.
Yeah.
What a game.
2-1?
Doozy. Yeah.
2-1. So,
shame
does Arsenal choke it from here?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. They're fans. That would be like burn the place down type of territory, right?
Oh, they're in big trouble. They're all rattled.
Is it's that Arsenal TV, eh?
Yeah.
That'll be popping off.
Oh, they're like the owners probably just like loving it right now. They want them to lose.
Yeah, that's the results they want, right? Just so that people fold. It's great to see. Let's kick things off with the NRL as we always do, and Thursday night footy. Perhaps we should have been a little bit bolder with our tips, or I should have anyway. You're still up by 2, 5-3, but I should have backed the gut on a couple of these. We talked each other out of them. The first one being Cowboys 6, Manly 38. What a win for Manly, and I think the most impressive thing was almost the most worrying. Turbo going off early doors with that hamstring injury. They're saying that it is quite bad. They think 6 to 8 weeks, which isn't ideal for Manly fans, but the fact that this happened early in the game, but Manly still kicked on, was really impressive. That's 3 straight under Kieran Foran now, and there's no doubt that they are playing a more exciting brand of footy. It's like they have identified where their threats finally are on attack, and they're not overcomplicating things. They're just getting the ball to them early. I also think their middles have been massive over the last few weeks. Like Paseka, it's like someone finally told him how huge he is. And I feel like every time he has started to look good, he's suffered an injury, but now he's really getting into his work. Hamoli was really good. Hetherington, Corey Waddell, their 4-pack is starting to fire some shots through the middle. Tolu Kola, though, the star of the show for me. That guy is just an excitement machine.
How quick did he look down the left-hand touchline on that little burst of speed?
Yeah.
I know it didn't eventuate to a try, but
we need this sprint race. And I feel like
he'd be close.
Like Super Round this week would be a great time to do it for Super Rugby. Imagine that on the Saturday we get a Super Rugby sprint off. I would rock up early to watch that.
Yeah, I'd be in attendance, yeah.
But an NRL one at Magic Round coming up. How sick would that be? Because Kola, he would have to be right up there. Not the biggest in terms of height.
Doesn't need to be.
He is rapid,
Yeah, he goes hard, yep.
He goes so well. I feel like Luke Brooks had a really good game too, which isn't a statement I make too often.
No, not at all this year. We haven't. We've been talking about how he shouldn't be in the squad most of the year.
More that Foran, his coach is probably a better 6 than him. But I thought he was really good. Cowboys disappointing. 58% completion rate. Doesn't matter who you play in the NRL. You're not going to win a game like that. And to me, this was the early season Cows, which is disappointing. Back at home, they finally have the expectation of a game where they go in as favourites and one you back them to win. And they just shit the bed, really. They didn't fire any shots.
And we tipped them.
Yes.
Which is another disappointing thing.
That's shame on us.
Yeah, it was shame on us.
Maybe Toddy paid and thought, geez, I've kept my job now. Everyone's talking about Flano.
It was disappointing, man. It really was. They sort of really were never in the game.
Nah.
Really, the Seagulls took it to them early. Still look like they're playing for their coach. which is just a great sign. Fozzie, assistant coach for the Kiwis?
Well, possibly, because that's another jersey where he would get the best out of everyone. I feel like him and Stacey Jones would work really well together.
But then have we got too many halves just running the show?
You reckon? Bring Sean in as well as a technical advisor.
We need some forward who's going to say that we actually need to run hard.
Well, Jared Waria-Hargraves, he actually sounds quite good on the Fox coverage. I've been impressed.
He'd be someone you'd listen to.
Yeah, 100%. I think having guys like that in the environment...
Can't have too many, though.
No, can't have too many, but I do feel like if you get the right guys, it can be beneficial.
So James Marshall... thing too with the Crusaders. And I know a lot of people have talked about how a young ex-player who's just finished understands the way of the game at the moment more than someone who retired 25 years ago. Yeah,
there's definitely that old school mentality now has been kind of flushed out of the game, and it's definitely more the modern day retired athlete gets a bigger response. For me, the Cows, this was just so disappointing because you genuinely felt like they'd been on such a run as of late that they should probably get this one, and then for them to fall apart, it's pretty worrying signs. I've been enjoying watching Manly though, and I do wonder at what point do they just have to say, shit, maybe he's not interim anymore. Maybe Kieran Foran is the coach, because now the Dragons are going to need a coach, and there's only so many candidates out there in the market, right? And if Manly want to get the best available, they're going to have competition for it now almost straight away. Like people are saying Mick Ennis for the Dragons job now. Well, he's been involved
he's the assistant,
Manly.
right?
Yeah, but he was an assistant at Manly last year, and he said that if the Manly job comes up for grabs, he'll want to be in there, same as Matt Ballin, a couple others, Brad Arthur, but it's the small pool now where everyone's competing. I doubt Seibold's going to get the job at the Dragons. I don't even think he'd chuck his name in the mix. So there's, 3 or 4 guys, and now Manly are going to find themselves competing with them as well. I wonder if they just bite the bullet now. How many wins does an interim coach need before you say, shit, maybe he is a full-time coach? And whether Foz wants to do it or not, I think he's come out and said that he wouldn't mind it. So
we'll see. They've got to do a proper search, though, for me. They can't just give it to Foz.
Nah, fair call.
So, yeah.
Fair call. Raiders, 26, Storm 22 on the first of your Friday night games. And yeah, look, Raiders' first win over the Storm since 2016. Storm's first time losing 5 in a row since 2012, where they then went on to win the competition. So if you're looking for some juicy odds at the TAB, I haven't looked at what they are paying to win it from here on out, but that could be a decent shout if you believe in fate repeating itself. But yeah, for me, the Storm, worrying because it's the same old problems. Like their edge D got carved up again. They completed at 67%, which is so un-Melbourne-like. And they just look a shell of themselves. They do not look like the same football side that they were last year. And yes, I get that no Paps, no Ali Katoa, both of those massive, but still with the players that they have out there and the names, just that spine alone, you expect them to win games. This is a Raiders team that 2 weeks ago was on a horrible stretch, and they deserve, Canberra deserved to win this game. I thought Melbourne looked dangerous at times, but they're just not patient enough at the moment. And it's their key players that are making mistakes too. It's hardly like they've been so standout and everyone else around them struggling. Like Joe Chan, big fan of the way he started the year, but he's been pretty shocking the last couple of weeks. Simi Sasagi carved them up, man. Try assist, 230 run meters. This is just so not like Melbourne.
Yeah, when we were talking earlier on about how Matt Tomoko wasn't getting in the side, and we were going, Simi Sasagi's playing over him. Like, what is this?
Yeah, take that back.
Take that back now very quickly. On the Storm, yeah, patience is actually a big one. I agree with that completely. I heard a lot of people talk about how they're struggling to get out of their own end, and they're just errors. But it was just in that middle period on tackle 3 and 4 where they were doing the Warriors against the Sharks, trying to score from every play, running the same sort of shape. And it's dangerous with Munster and Jerome Hughes, but they sort of weren't getting it. Firing offloads when they're not on, short balls when there's 2 defenders right on the carrier. So, yeah, just some odd stuff really from the Storm, sort of uncharacteristic sort of stuff from them, in my opinion.
$19 they're paying to win the grand final. I feel like that's not enough right now, but that's still probably reputation keeping them there.
They could still make. Where are they? They're third. Are they?
I'm still expecting them to be in the 8.
I think they're 14th, aren't they?
Jeez, I'll have a look right now. 15th, yeah, well.
They can make the 8.
Only above the Titans and the Dragons.
They can make the 8.
That is crazy. Oh, absolutely they can. And you still get that feeling that it's got to click, right? And people, including us, will probably continue to tip them every week. Yeah. But it must be so different for guys like Munster and Hughes and that, right? Like, all they've known is this Melbourne side that has just always been so polished, and they've just done their job extremely well, but things have happened around them. Now I feel like so much of their creativity just relies on those guys, and that's when you start pushing shit and coming up with stupid errors. I feel like Blore came back on the weekend, but they need to get him straight back into the starting role. And yeah, this Ali Katoa thing, it was already a tragedy and a disaster for the Storm in particular. Bellamy now must be thinking that was possibly the worst thing. That and the Pappy retirement, which surely checkbooks are out.
Just proves how crucial Katoa was, right?
Oh, and even Paps, like, look, the Storm have cheated in the past. Now's the time. Get the boats, get the Ferraris, send them to Mr. Pappenhausen and see if he's willing. Because isn't he going on to be like a golf caddy? There was some chat he's going on like the golf tour.
How good would that be, though?
Yeah, that would be a good live.
I rate that.
Yeah, I do rate that too. But yeah, geez, they would be begging to get him back in the mixer right now because they are struggling in a major way. Finns, Panthers, Golden Point thriller. I think we were saying last week that the last time these two sides played each other, the Finns got up and that the Hammer loves scoring tries against them. He scored in this one. It was Herbie Farnworth, though, that did most of the damage for the Finns. He had 12 tackle breaks. The Hammer had 7. Those two can be so dangerous. I thought this game was over at halftime, 18-0. I thought no one comes back on the Panthers like this. Golden Point, Cleary gets it done. But shit, this was a nail-biter and a good watch.
Yeah, good watch. Yeah, I was a bit worried in the first 20 minutes with Herbie Farnworth being in my fantasy team as he was struggling big time.
Wow.
And then he went on to get 100, so he didn't end up struggling.
Yeah.
But yeah, some worrying signs there, I thought, for maybe both teams at times, because sort of the Dolphins had a lot of chances to lead in that game and go ahead, and then the Panthers just sort of not really resurrecting what they got wrong last week against the Bulldogs. So, I mean, I was pretty confident that the Panthers were going to win this game throughout the game.
Yeah.
Clearly just so calm, So calm in that big moment. Stepped off the right foot.
Hit it that well.
No, I didn't.
But you just knew it was going over. It's a fair point you raised, though, around the Panthers and, like, their last 2 weeks. It's after thinking that they were unbeatable, it's kind of refreshing to see them go down to the Dogs, but then also have some similar frailties in their game for back-to-back weeks to show that it wasn't just a one-off. I still get the feeling if you catch them when they're off and you're 100% on, they can be beaten.
Yeah, and it's sort of, it could be a good thing.
Yeah.
I think for them, for Ivan Cleary to sort of get that a little bit more edge in camp this week. And after, even though they did win, they've only lost whatever 1 or 2 games, whatever it is. So it's not panic stations, but it's kind of good that they did lose a game, probably a bit of edge in camp this week, and can sort of motivate the boys to push on and look unbeatable again, which they have done for large parts of the season.
Milky Jenkins, does he play Origin? Another double.
The way he's playing.
Another double. And it's not just his finishing. Like, he's doing some good work out of yardage. He's become so good in the air. Looks like he's put some muscle on too.
Leaps high,
Yeah, he's a great kick target. One of the greatest leaping white wingers we've ever seen, I reckon. He has been getting aerial, though. He's been impressive. Another one from the Finns that I think might play Origin, Fine Fuiaki.
Yeah, he's dangerous,
Holy
strong
shit.
ball carrier.
He had almost 250 run meters on the weekend, and I feel like his game's gone to another level too. He's been exceptional. So Finns fall 1 point short. Hopefully they take no confidence out of that because they play the Warriors this week. So fingers crossed they don't come over here.
It's not going to be an easy game this week.
Shit, no.
At all.
For them or for us or for both?
Both. Everyone.
Good.
The referee too.
Everyone involved. We love that. Warriors Titans. Speaking of the Warriors, the first of your triple header on the Saturday. Again, Surly set of 6 live now, so tune in there for a 35, 40 odd minute deep dive into that game, which we basically summed up as an unreal first half. Really dominant on both attack and defence. I think our attack looked some of the most dangerous it has so far. Our edges looking lethal. AKP, the excitement machine, using his speed and showing off his explosiveness. Then on the other edge, we had that Lecker and Ali combo proving to be dangerous. We had our 4-pack rolling through the middle. Jacko Ford with another 5 points to go towards his Dally M ladder to sit at the top. Love to see that. Second half, obviously a game of two halves in terms of the conditions and the wind. Titans came back into it, thought they played really well, scored a couple opportunistic tries, but they just dominated possession, and we've seen in the modern game, if you can do that, it'll go a long way to getting the result. And in the end, we kind of said it was a potential banana skin, but one that we banked the 2 points on, and no real major worrying signs. A couple of work-ons, which you love to see, but overall just a win to have us sitting in second. No dramatic injuries, couple guys got a rest. It was probably a pretty good day out at the office.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. I wasn't worried before the game, but I was aware that it's difficult. Like I said in this early set of six, that sometimes you can go average after a really good performance, where you go to the wow and you play unreal with one of our best performances in a long, long time. So I was worried in that sense, but the boys basically just started, ripped in early, gave the team some confidence, and I wasn't too worried in the second half, bar that 5 minutes. But yeah, good performance. The boys will take a lot out of it. Barney, Kirk Capel, some experience coming off the bench, getting some much needed minutes. And if you go and listen to the press conference after where he was asked about Barney, and Barney's like, yeah, well, looks at his thumb and goes, oh yeah, I'm good to go. I wanted to play. I wanted to rip in. So it just gives you confidence, eh?
No, Mana Mitch, he oozes it, eh? What a guy. Another thing I loved too was seeing Ali, Dell, like jam in, but at the right times and just flatten people. Like I think Keanu Kinney was the recipient of one on those ribs, which had been a bit fragile for him. I think Dell got a good shot in there too. Like, love to see that. I felt like our edges were a whole lot more secure, and Webby's got some big choices coming up this week. Adam Pompey back available after that ridiculous ban. But what do? Do we change things? Again, silly set of six, we go on a deep dive, but looking forward to this weekend's game. I'll be down in Wally, so if you're heading along, love to catch up for a brew. Bunnies, Dragons. At one stage, I thought this could have been an upset. It looked like the Dragons were well and truly in this. Latrell Mitchell, though, turns it on, scores 3 tries. Matt Duffy, 333 run meters. What a knock from him. Turns out this was the final straw for Shane Flanagan as well. He is gone. And I think the writing was on the wall in the preseason when he came out and said that they couldn't win the comp. I found that a really interesting statement.
It's a bad start, eh?
Yeah, I feel like as a locker room, you're probably looking around being like, shit, coach is really bought in, isn't he? And he tried to backtrack and say, look, realistically, but again, it doesn't really work. And since then, they haven't won a game. And the back end of last year was really tough for them too. I noticed they got rid of their GM of football as well. I think that's almost as important, to be fair, because it's not all just the coach. There's obviously other problems going on there. Recruitment hasn't been amazing. It's tough to recruit when you're losing, but I don't feel like that roster fires many shots. And then you got guys like Pasifiki Tonga, these young boys coming through that are now saying they're keen to look elsewhere. That's not just a coaching issue. You've also got all these young guns like your Helen Gahus and that struggling to get on, even in a losing side, which probably pisses them off. Like, it seems like it was a whole lot bigger than Flano, but he was a part of it for sure, just not the whole thing. And quite often we see coaches get sacked, but these guys at the head of the club stay in the mixer, and at times you think, oh, that's a bit harsh. So I think it's quite good that they've moved on from both, and it's almost like that would make it easier to recruit, surely, because you could be like, this is a clean slate. We're mixing things up. It's almost easier to buy into like a rebuild than if just the coach goes. And
yeah, they needed a fresh start. I can't even remember the last time they won a game. Was it September last year or something like that?
I think they're on like an 11-game losing streak.
Yeah, like they just needed a fresh start. And like you said, it is important. You need a fresh restart. It's not just the coach, because then the GM just appoints someone that
someone else
sort of that's
his mate. Yeah. And it's interesting, they've said they're not going to name an interim at the moment. So I don't know. There was talk of
so who coaches the side?
Well, there was a talk of a Flano farewell game this week.
Yeah, how good would that be?
Which I saw the fans straight away. There's that one fan, like it's JC or something on Instagram. Have you seen him where he crashes out? Oh, it is honestly the best. He does it after every game, just loses his shit. And I saw he was like, if they give him a farewell game, he's not going to get the farewell he wanted. The fans are going to rip in. But there was talk of boycotts. There was talks of all sorts. So, yeah, good to see them. Well, not good to see them move on. It's never nice to see a guy get sacked, but I think it was the right call. And now it's about trying to keep these young guys that seem like they are frustrated. And they're in the market for Drinkwater, but they're going to pay way overs. But I think they need a player that can create on attack. And, yeah, it'll be interesting. I would give Cade Reed a run this week, 100%, the young 7. I feel like this whole Flanagan thing is probably weighed down on Kyle a load too. He has copped it, and I think they just need some creativity. And I know it's rough chucking a young guy in on debut on a team that has lost however many games in a row, but it's almost past that point now.
Got nothing to lose.
I don't think it's going to ruin his career, just giving him a taste of it. Like, there's literally no expectation on him at the same time. It's like, imagine if they go out there and win. He is going to be feeling like he is the man, right? And if they lose, it's just another day in the office.
Yeah, nothing to lose. They got to do something.
Yeah, they got to mix it up. Good win for the Bunnies and what could have been a potentially dangerous game for them, missing a few players too, so they did well to get the result there. And then Tigers 20, Broncos 21, 71st minute. Adam Reynolds field goal gets them the dub. Down on troops, a good win. Payne Haas could be gone for a little while. MCL, they're saying he might miss Origin Game 1, which I'm actually heading to. My first Origin experience. Wanted to get one in over there before witnessing it here at Eden Park. So thought we'd go over for Game 1. It's in Sydney. Didn't want to go to Suncorp for Game 1. I thought that would be too much of a cauldron for myself. So, yeah, going to go over there and get amongst that. Then actually staying on because the Warriors play the Panthers that Sunday at Combank. So I'm going to watch the ambush over there too. Watch us knock off the Premiership favourites.
I kind of want to see Haas at Magic Ground. We're both heading along to that. But
I hope he's all good. He's a good player to watch. I thought Xavier Willison was massive in this game.
Yeah, he's good too.
He started at lock.
The big Kiwi.
For Kerrigan. Yeah, he's bloody good footballer. Well done to the Bronx. This was one where I think we both tipped the Tigers. Or did we both tip the Broncos? I actually can't remember.
I can't remember. We both tipped one. Yeah, we were. This is really one of the ones.
Yeah. And yeah, there were times there where I thought the Tigers were going to be too good. A lot of people asking questions about Luai. And I feel like as NRL fans, we are so fickle, right? He comes back probably not 100%, doesn't perform to the best of his ability, and we lose. And people are saying, Jock Madden, the guy, Luai can't be on the side. To me, that is crazy stuff, right?
Yeah, no. And you're right, NRL fans, reactive, yes. I would say, a little bit to some issues and when things go. I think we were the same at the Warriors. When things happen, when we lose that game to the Sharks, we're like, oh, shit.
Hindsight heroes.
Our season's done, eh?
Yeah, big time.
So, yeah.
I saw Benji say they created enough opportunities to win that game. They just didn't ice them. It still wasn't like that disappointing of a performance.
They only lost one.
Yeah.
By one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can't be that bad. And they're sitting,
burned down the building.
And they're sitting like, I don't know, 4th or 5th.
It's nice to hear Tigers fans complain about a 1-point loss. I feel like in years gone by, they would have paraded down Leichhardt just for a 1-point loss. But now they're not happy. Blake Ashford fuming at that loss. The Roosters on Sunday came back to beat the Knights. 24 points to 12 down. I thought the Knights kind of had this one. A few people hit on a Trey Mooney bet. Were you one of those?
I wasn't, but he was in my fantasy team. And just quickly, I've got some breaking-ish news on a topic that we've just talked about. I got the message from NRL Physio, not to me personally.
I was going to say, is that your boy?
not to me personally. Grade 3 MCL for half, 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh.
So that would rule him out of Magic Round.
Yeah, big time. And that's Origin's in May, so
he's touch and go for May.
It could be a heroic comeback for Game 1. And everyone say, is he underdone?
Yeah, right.
And then he plays 70 minutes and destroys the Queensland Middles. That's what I'm hoping for. But wow, 6 to 8 weeks. That is a massive blow for them. I think they get Kerrigan in that back this week. I think it was only a 1-week suspension.
Yeah, Kerrigan was one. For the high shot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Xavier Willison now becomes a must-buy on fantasy. I got to sell Payne
Probably.
That's a Daryl Tuffy. Well done to the Roosters. Good win. Tedesco. Unreal. 16 tackle breaks.
Yeah, I was at the Auckland FC game yesterday and I was checking my fantasy app.
Was there a weather delay?
There was a weather delay, yep. So I did have a lot of time on my hands.
Gotcha.
So I had a look at the score, had a look at my fantasy team, brought in Tedesco, so that was good. And I had a quick look at the highlights and watched a couple of plays, and there he was, just fending off people left, right, and centre, straight through the gap, and yeah, loved it. I think he's a good player. Yeah. Complains too much. Yep. That's what gets me pissed off a lot of the time. But there's no doubting his quality. He's an Origin footballer.
He must be one of the slipperiest blokes. Like sometimes he's too elusive for himself and he slips over.
Gets caught in his own
feet. Gets
his
Speedos out all the time. But he just breaks tackles so often. Every time he gets the ball, he looks so dangerous. You must have had a heck of a weekend on fantasy because you've alluded to it about 6 times now. You're wanting to flex it. But you had Teddy, you had Herbie.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people had Herbie. Did you have Herbie?
No.
Okay.
He's expensive.
Yeah, well...
He's worth it, though, isn't it?
He is worth it. I didn't have that great. I had a good week, but not an amazing week.
I think I had a shit week.
But it did help having Teddy and...
I'm at that zone now where my team is going so shitly. It's like, do you fold or do you just stick in? And then your
just
final...
make some changes. You got 3 trades per week.
Yeah, your final ranking gets better because other people around you have folded. You're in like that loser group where everyone gives up. So if you stick it out, you can move up quickly. So I'm in that weird...
I'll have to help you out on this.
I just pick with my heart, not my head, you know?
Okay, well...
And at times that really
So it's a skill issue, is that what you're saying?
It's a skill issue, yeah. And everyone's like, I thought you'd be good, bro. All you do is talk about sport. No, sometimes that can be to your detriment. And the Dogs. Oh, quickly, Knights, a little bit worried. Back-to-back losses for them. They looked good in the first half.
When do they get Ponga back?
I think he's still a few more weeks away.
Yeah. Fletcher Hunt?
Yep, he was in the centres. They had Dill Brown back on the weekend.
Hat-trick for Fletcher Hunt?
Yep, he's a footballer, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't say worrying signs for the Knights, but it's probably not ideal. They would have liked to have... I can't remember who they lost to last week, the Knights, but you would have liked to have gone into a 2-game period where you were going that well to at least win one of them.
Yeah.
It was like the Warriors where we went into this 3-game period with the Storm, the Dolphins next week, and then... I can't even remember. The Titans, who we played on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get 2 wins from those 3 games.
Yeah,
if you look at those little blocks, so if the Knights were to look at that block, you would have thought that they would have liked to leave that 2-game block with 1 win. Sort of like the Crusaders, but...
They got done by the Tigers, 42-22.
Yeah, so you would have liked to have won one of those games, right?
Yeah, big time. And from memory, they're having a tough... Oh, they got the Panthers this week. So they're on a tough little stretch here at the moment.
There might be a little underdog.
Oh, you reckon? Well, they're in 8th. Then they got the Bunnies the week after that. So
yeah, it's a hard game.
They got a tough little roll now. And I guess this is the period, too, where your depth gets a little tested, right? Injuries pop up. Like, Frizzell was out for them on the weekend, too. Do they have enough depth to stick with it? It's going to be really interesting. But that was an interesting one to kick off the Sunday. And then, finally, the upset of the round, really. Eels 38, Dogs 20. I didn't have this one tipped, especially after Parra looked woeful the week before.
That's just what the NRL's like now, though. Yeah. Like I'm gonna take this into consideration with my tips this weekend. That we've almost got to forget about what happened last week and just pick of what the matchup's like.
Yeah, and we went all favourites, didn't we? I think so. It's like you've got to factor in at least one upset each week. I actually didn't watch this game. I was watching Justin Bieber week 2 Coachella, which I have to say better than week 1. I thought for Biebs. I'm a big One Less Lonely Girl fan. The song, and he busted it out. Lonely. Fun fact, I actually spoke about this on the radio this morning. Kim and I had been seeing each other for about 2 weeks, and it was her 21st. She invited me along. I brought 9 of my rugby mates, as you do when you're new to seeing someone. Yeah, it was after our footy game. We'd just lost the bowl final. We went winless that year. Really tough year. My first year of for the coach.
So the bowl final. How do you make the bowl final? It's the 9th and 10th.
Yeah, we got pumped by Mahu. I got knocked out and split my eye open.
Before the 21st?
Yeah, went to A&E, got an eye patch, rocked up at the 21st, met her parents. They're like,
how good is this?
And my mate was horsed. He put One Less Girl on the iPod. That's what we were running back then. Got the chair out, did the full One Less Lonely Girl performance for Kimbo.
Actually?
Yeah, looking back, embarrassing as fuck.
At her 21st?
But we're still together, yeah. And then Vegas, last year we renewed our vows and she walked down the aisle to One Less Lonely Girl at 5 a.m. in the morning barefoot in a chapel in Vegas. We were buckled.
This is That's an incredible story.
Thanks. I did a speech at the vow renewal about Leka Halasima and how much potential he has, and that if our marriage has that much potential, we'll be all right.
This has to go on socials.
It
has to go on socials. Someone clip it up.
It was.
That is exceptional.
So, yeah, big Biebs fan anyway, so I missed this game. But watching the highlights back, felt sorry for me mate Josh Curran. Seems like he had a tough day in the centres.
Good friend of the show.
I'm surprised they put him at centre. 5 handling errors. It looked like he had a couple in the play of the ball, and it looked like they went hard at that edge.
To me, they're just plugging him in where they see. So they're not using him properly.
Nah.
That they're just using the fact that he's leaving next year and going, you're going to play wherever we need you to play because you're not really in our plans next year,
I saw a thing where Seraldo supposedly in the press conference after, they was like, oh, he played there for the Warriors. And then someone had done a thing and it worked out that he'd played like less than 20 minutes there for the Warriors.
Yeah, that's a myth. Yeah.
So maybe Seraldo feeling the pressure a little bit. Interesting one. But, yeah, great result there for the Eels, who bounced back, much to the delight of a few of my mates. We've got them in 2 weeks. They're a bogey team for us, too. I feel like they always beat us, Parra, eh?
Is it at Mount Smart?
No, it's at Combank.
Is that the one you're going to?
No, I'm going to the Panthers one.
Oh, the Panthers one at Combank.
But
yeah.
Parra always make me slightly nervous. I don't know why.
It's not a great stadium to go to because the Parra's got a lot of fans and
Yes.
it's a bit of an ugly game
Yeah.
against them. And they're up and down, right? So who knows? It's not going to matter what they do the week before because who knows what they're going to bring.
Yeah, what Paraside's going to show up. But, yeah, anyway, shout out to Justin Bieber. Super Rugby. Blues, Highlanders, Friday night, 47-40. I feel like the Blues were the dominant side, though. That last kind of 5 minutes from the Landers made the scoreboard look a whole lot quicker. Those 2 late tries, whole lot closer, sorry. But I feel like the Blues were the better team. Shit, their forward pack is scary. Like now that Dalton and Hoskins are back. Anton Segner. Holy shit.
Is he a chance?
Well, that's 3 weeks in a row now where he's been the man of the match, right?
Yeah, 3. And you don't get that. Like, they've won 2 of those games, I believe.
You don't get that lightly.
Against the Canes, you got the man of the match for the Blues.
I feel like his physicality is, like, he's been great for Auckland the last couple of years, been a leader for them, captain, right? So I feel like that's helped his game. But like, he's scoring tries. I think they scored 6 tries amongst the forwards in this game.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about Segner's game, I heard Tony Johnson say this the other day, the great Tony Johnson. He said that he's he's Northcote man, did you say?
Yeah,
there you go.
Man.
He's actually a good option at the front of the line out for the Blues, and he's stealing a lot of ball because he's slightly undersized. He's not the biggest players, but I mean, Artie Sevilla's slightly undersized, so it doesn't matter too much. But I love how he's actually got another dimension to his game. He's not just a hard ball carrier over the ball. So I think he's in with a shout. If it's a clean slate, if it's a clean slate that we're talking about.
Well, Flanders is leaving.
Right.
I believe. So that opens up a spot potentially, although these All Black coaches might not think that way.
Are you going to expand on that point, or are we going to leave it at that?
Well, I believe he's going to Japan. Yeah.
Okay, so, is that your oil?
Yeah, that's again, we've spoken about the rumour mill and how it can dish up a couple doozies at times, but that's the chat, is that he is chasing the yen, and fair enough to him. I just don't know with the loose forwards we have at the moment. Like, you're not going to leave out a Wallace or someone like that who was great on the weekend in his return. So it's more like, is there enough spots to fit in a Segner? It'll be a heck of a story, like a kid that made the move over to be an All Black.
Bit of a Fabian Holland type story.
Yeah, bit of a Fabian Holland type.
It's interesting because he's one that could play 6 and 8 and even, he's a 7, but he can play 6 or he could play 8. So I don't know. I think he's a shot.
Wow,
if we go back to the Blues, if we go back to the Blues performance, so good to see Paddy Tuipulotu back.
Yep.
Forwards, what did you think of the high shot on Tangitau?
Oh, pretty bad. Like, optically, I get it. There's mitigation. There's
mitigation.
Yeah, 100%. It was just the end outcome I didn't like. Like, that was a legit knockout that hurts for sure. I thought Tito...
Should it have been a red?
I think potentially, although the mitigation was large, but it was very direct and shoulder to head, 100%.
The Landers, Big Jamie Joe wasn't pleased. I'll tell you that much in his post-match presser. He was talking about how last week it was the tip tackle with Ben O'Keefe, and now this week it's the high shot on Tangitau.
I probably would have given it a red.
Yeah, I would have thought so. It didn't look good.
No.
Like it wasn't like he's weighted there and he's dipping and the head's hit the shoulder. It's almost like Sullivan was going into it.
Yeah.
You know?
He wanted to put a shot on for sure. It was just, a nasty one in the end. I enjoyed Tito Harris. I think if the Warriors didn't have so many outside backs, he would be a player that would look great in the league. I think he grew up playing league and...
Kelston Boys, I believe.
New Zealand Sevens.
Yep.
Like I'm looking forward to watching him under the roof this weekend. I reckon with the opportunity he's going to carve up there. Is it worrying for the Blues that they have conceded like 80-something points in the last 2 games? They're a team that defensively, like under Stern Vern, they've been very good in that area, and they pride themselves in the physical aspects of the game, but that's 42 and 40 in back-to-back weeks?
It will worry Vern because also their scrum's going backwards. Which isn't a good... It's sort of a sign that they're not... I know their forward pack are doing great things otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, some worrying signs there. But it's a good win. It's an important win. They were the better side,
yeah,
and deserved the win. So it's kind of an okay spot to be in for the Blues. They're going under the radar. They lost to the Canes, and everyone's going, "Oh shoot, they're not title contenders." But they're just chugging along in third place. They're kind of going win this weekend against the Reds. They've got a couple of easier fixtures coming up before some New Zealand derbies.
I feel like as well that Canes one, like if you take Dalton, Hoskins, like out of any team, right, you're going to see a drop-off. Like, that wasn't the strongest Blues team, and they caught a Canes side running red hot. Like, I feel like once you chuck all the Blues players back in the mixer, they're going to be a whole lot better than what they were.
Well, if you've got Paddy Tuipulotu, Hoskins Sadudu, and Dalton Papali'i playing in a game against the Hurricanes, their forward pack is a lot stronger, which could have helped them in that game. So, yeah, I did hear someone say last week that whoever lost that game between the Canes and the Blues will win the competition.
Yeah.
Because just on the, like, sort of, they can bounce back from that and... Maybe the same about the Hurricanes-Chiefs game.
Yeah,
who knows?
Maybe. Actually, I had Caleb Clark, Stephen Petafeta in last week on George FM for a yarn on Friday. Good to see Stevie P. Reckons he's really close. Back out there training.
Oh, nice.
So
how good.
That's a great inclusion for the Blues as well in terms of bench options.
Caleb's calf?
Yeah, he said it wasn't too bad. So which I said it must be nice to have a calf too strained. He's got some legs on him,
Yeah, he does.
Holy shit. Tars Moana. The Moana pod last week, some really good feedback on it. People were saying it was great to hear two people speak so passionately about rugby because you don't hear it so often in the media now, but it is a bit of a passionate subject, right? And I saw the Herald even yesterday released an article saying that club rugby is really struggling. So, yeah, word's getting out. That's for damn sure.
There's been a lot about it, eh?
Yeah, there has been. I see now the topic of crowdfunding Moana and stuff has popped up, but I don't know. Is that even possible? Not to that level of investment. Apparently a few people have come forward and inquired around saving it, but yeah, I'm still under the impression that perhaps the whole comp is a bit flawed financially, right? Like, Aussie Rugby now backs all of their teams. New Zealand Rugby does the same for us, and they were saying 3 of our franchises are going to turn record losses. Is that sustainable? Are we just buying time here?
There's been a lot of chat on Sport Nation recently about just club rugby and the way that going forward in rugby, which doesn't help the narrative of the rugby, the anti-rugby union and verse league type debate that we've talked about a lot on the show, how we're kind of against that.
Yeah.
And so, like you said about the feedback about two people speaking passionately about rugby, like, I think we need more of that as well. Like, league has a lot of that. We've talked about how it's just more positive, that there's more positive. So I think there needs to be more positive chat about it. Like, people care about it in New Zealand, but they're sort of going against the grain at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
big time.
Disappointing from Moana. They were in that game for large periods too.
I jumped on before it because I thought, here comes the bounce back. And I must say, like, listening to the team sing the hymn before the game and
Unreal,
stuff. Like, you're almost in tears just because of the circumstances around it too, and you can tell how heartbroken they are, but they just offer something so completely different. And you look at the draw and their win over the Brumbies on the weekend and you think, how different could it all be if it was done properly? But yeah, at halftime, I was up and about. I thought, you beauty, they're going to pull this one off.
You just feel for them, eh?
Yeah, you do. You do. And it's got to take a toll. Like, they're all just saying they want to finish the season on a high. Like, it has to take a toll on you emotionally, knowing that the end is so near.
Yep. Yeah, I'm almost lost for words sometimes when you even watching them play, you're just like...
Yeah, brutal. Again, perhaps the depth isn't there, and that second half showed it. The Tars too strong in the end, but Moana refused to quit, and I think they can hold their heads high after that one. Chiefs, Canes, great second half, great finish. I loved the physicality in this one. I thought there were some massive shots, 2 good forward packs going at it. I think in the end, the Hurricanes were probably the better side and created opportunities that they should have taken. Watching this game, I never really felt like the Chiefs were going to win. They were almost always counter-punching off the back of the Canes scoring points, and it wasn't until right down the end when they did win off a pretty opportunistic play there. Shout out to Wallace for actually having the awareness to know it was touched, he's onside, grab the ball and go in, because so often you see players run away from that moment with their hands up thinking that they can't make that play, but that was a nice little heads-up moment there. I did feel like, though, the Canes were probably the better team, and 9 times out of 10 would have won that game. They didn't ice the moments, though, and look, not to pile in, but I thought maybe Ruben Love, not his strongest performance. He wasn't shocking, but I think there are moments there that people unsure about him playing 10 at an international level in big games might try pick apart, whereas D-Mac, it felt like average start, but the more the game went on and the more chaotic it got, the more he thrived. Two contrasting styles, but I felt like, maybe D-Mac got the slight dub in that one over Ruben.
I agree with you in that last bit of your statement about how D-Mac got the better of him. I'm going to disagree slightly on Ruben Love's performance, because I almost feel like he was trying too hard to act as a good game driver.
Yeah.
I think he didn't have his best game, but I think he was trying to be more solid and more safe,
like test match like,
because he was coming up against the Chiefs, against Damian McKenzie, knew a lot of eyes on him. Whereas we want to see him play eyes up footy. That's actually what he's got over him and Damian McKenzie both.
Yeah,
that's what they've got over Beauden Barrett. So I was a bit disappointed in that. I think if he just played his normal game, I don't think he was bad by any stretch.
No, not bad, no.
I just think he was trying to be that game driver, that All Black Test 10, and I don't think that's his game. I think that will grow over time.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I've actually been amazed at how comfortable he has looked there.
And he did look comfortable at times.
He's got that persona about him where nothing really rattles him, but ever since he started at 10, he looks like he's played 10 his whole life. Like, it's tough to you can't fake that type of composure and comfortability, but yeah, this one a little bit different. He wasn't the reason they lost, by no means at all. It's just people were watching that one being like, oh, winner of this game probably gets the All Blacks 10 jersey. I'm not sure if that is a true statement either, but it felt like at the end there, D-Mac pulled away a little bit.
Yep, 100%. What did you think of the loose forward battle? There's some absolute All Black people destined to be in the squad.
Lucy's still performed extremely well. There were some massive shots, some great turnovers. I feel like it was relentless between all of them, Like, even Brown getting the late call up to start, I thought he was really good. And then Wallace Satiti coming on, I thought he made an instant impact.
He's in the squad.
Big time. I feel like people forget just how good he is. And it's off the back of him being unable to put consistent performances together off the back of injury. It's never a skill set question with him. He is so talented, man. And World Breakthrough Player of the Year. It's just been the injuries that have stopped him playing for multiple games in a row now to remind everyone how good he is. He's just got that something different about him. And we are stacked for Lucy's at the moment, but I feel like he is a bit of a point of difference. Wonder if maybe off the bench is the way they go. But I really enjoyed the battle between the two sides' loose forward trios. I thought both teams' Lucy's lived up to the hype. I don't think either of them outplayed each other. It was just felt like a relentless battle there, and I enjoyed the battle of the hookers too.
Yeah, I did. The loose forward battle, just quickly. So if Devon Flanders is in Japan, if this oil is true, we're not saying it is, but if it is, he won't get picked for the All Blacks. Simple as that.
Yep.
So if that happens, then that gets rid of one of the form sixes of the comp, or 8, wherever you want to play him.
Yep.
Simon Parker, different player to Wallace Atiti, and Peter Luckeye is kind of the mix of both with the ball carrying ability, as well as Simon Parker's just that hard shoulders.
Yep.
Luke Jacobson could be in the picture. Dalton Papali'i,
really
I know he's leaving, but he's playing the best rugby in a long time. This is really off topic and really bold, but can you give us your 6 All Blacks loose forwards almost right now?
Well, it's for Dalton, these guys are leaving pre-World Cup.
So they won't get picked?
I don't think so, right?
No.
Unless somehow overseas players become eligible before that World Cup.
I just can't see it happening.
No. And I know that was a big knock on Razor, him coming out and saying that, but Rennie's pretty much saying it too, that he wants to pick guys from overseas, right? Or he's hinted towards wanting to do it. He just hasn't fully said it, but I can't see that happening personally. So
6 All Blacks loose forwards.
Ardy, obviously. Luckeye.
Yep.
I think Dupes has to be there. You have to reward.
Really? I just think he's going to be the one that misses out.
Yeah. Fuck. I feel like he's so good, though.
Yeah, he is. So
you've got Blackadder back in?
No. So you've got Satiti, you've got Luckeye, you've got Ardy. That's 3.
Are you going Parker then?
I think Parker's going to make the squad because he's that hardened sort of test level 6 and 8 that we want. That's 4. Maybe Dupes does make it, now that I'm thinking about it.
He would be the 5th because no Dalton.
Because no Dalton and no Flanders, because Flanders probably would make it.
And then there's a Jacobson, Leo Willie,
Blackadder,
Yosse. Yossi. I feel like Yossi won't get in.
Yossi won't make it.
So it's those three probably battling for it.
And there's also whispers that Artie Seville won't play the July test, just because they've obviously, with all of the stuff that's come out recently, they're going to somehow figure out a way to give him a break so that he's not burned out before the World Cup, because he's going to do the South Africa tour, need him for that. So there's talk of letting him.
Finau?
Yeah. I would pick him over Duplessis Karifi, because I think Artie Seville is your 7.
Fuck, it's tough, eh? So you think Artie break, let him...
And if he does, then Dupes makes it.
Yeah, right. It's a great problem to have.
Yeah, there's enough loose forwards there.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Anything else on that game?
Just a good game. Or in the end, I thought the super point was quite cool too.
Yeah, it was cool, eh?
Yeah, because I was just like, oh, draw, boring. And it was better than normal extra time, I think. So.
Asafa Amoa versus Samisoni Takeo. Quick. Are they the second and third hooker?
Yeah, and I think Asafa has a bit of a point of difference, right, in terms of his edge attack. But I love Taukiaho. To me, it's a coin toss. Like, they both do things really well, and they're both hookers that would probably start in the majority of countries. When Asafo scored that try, that was a bit of a statement. I feel like his line-out throwing's got a whole lot better as well.
Yeah, there's still question marks there, though, isn't there?
Yeah. To me, you could give or take either. I love Asafo edge-wise, ball running, and he has that aggression about him too, but then Taukiaho is really good all around the paddock. Great off-rolling maul, really good close to the line. So, yeah, Cody Taylor starts, and it's the other two going for it.
Interesting you say that, because I'm going to switch that around a little bit and go, I'd go one of Amoa or Samisoni starting, probably Samisoni, because I think that games are won. I'm big on this Jeff Wilson take, who's big on this as well, is that the last 20 minutes, the bench is where you win your games, and you can't have someone coming on that's a liability throwing in the ball. You can't have that. So if you've got Cody Taylor with 115 All Blacks tests or whatever, coming on with 25 minutes to go, 30 minutes to go, he's the perfect sort of player. Yes, he probably lacks the direct impact that Almore or Samisoni would have.
That's what I'm thinking. And like leadership.
But just leadership.
Didn't Jeff want him to be captain?
Cody Taylor? Yeah, probably. Yeah. So he's contradicting himself, as I probably am right now. But I'm just trying to say that Almore coming on in 20 minutes, I'd be nervous every time we go for a line-out.
Yeah, true. And you're probably less likely to make that change, right? So... No, it's an interesting point. Yeah, different way to look at it. I feel like Cody Taylor's leadership in those big games will be crucial, but then you could have him on to close out the game, which is just as beneficial. So, yeah, don't mind it. Drua, famous win for them over the Brumbies. Brumbies were paying $1.06, and like, to be fair, I probably would have jumped on. I thought they were going to be way too good. They miss kale. The Brumbies miss the superfood. They need him back.
Power, eh? They just missed a bit of punch.
They almost pulled off the comeback. I thought the Drua had butchered it.
Famous one, though. Famous one.
Yeah, great to see. Like, that is so cool for them to knock off a team like that, too. Brumbies slightly worrying last couple of weeks. They got the Canes this week, Super Round.
Under the roof.
Yeah.
Dry weather. It doesn't look good for the Brumbies in that one. Canes coming off a loss.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting one there. And then speaking of not looking good, surely the Crusaders fix things this week. Happiness for us, although we're both heading down there and we do not want to be targeted by Crusaders fans. So,
well, it'll be pretty hard to miss them down there, won't it?
Yeah, well, exactly. 31-26.
For the second week in a row, by the way, that exact score.
Exact scoreline. So if the Crusaders can score over 26 this week, they'll probably win the game. That's their hoodoo. But, geez, talk about missing Cody Taylor, Will Jordan. Holy smokes. 19-0 up, I thought game over. Crusaders teams don't lose that from here. Is it a depth issue? Do they not have the same stocks that they used to have down there? Or are they just a little bit lower in confidence? And credit to the Force, they haven't given up all year in games.
They deserve that one.
Yeah, they've actually been, like, when you look at their losses, it's over here to teams like the Canes and that by like 10 points. Hardly disgraceful. They pumped the Brumbies last week, and then they get up over the Crusaders. Are they a chance of playing finals footy?
Well, they could. They got to string some more wins together. But, yeah, it was an interesting one. I heard some people talk about how it was the worst Crusaders lineup in over 15 years.
Oh.
Which, it sounds ruthless and sounds rude and brutal and probably rude to the players that they're playing.
Yeah.
But I actually, somewhat agree with it. I genuinely think just the quality of players is one of their worst sides in a long time.
Jeez, I look forward to our live podcast then. Where you can
but let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves that this week they are going to win this game on Friday night.
Do you reckon
They're a different side, though.
They've got rid of the
Taylor.
horses pre-game. And then imagine if they lose the opening game. That place will be cursed.
Yeah, they're not going to lose that game if Will Jordan and Cody Taylor and stuff are back, right?
I feel like even without them, they'll make a statement this week against the Tars. They won't want to drop the first game at the new stadium.
Jeez, that could be bad, eh?
I'd kind of love to see it, but yeah, it would be interesting. You got to back them to bounce back, though, and they've got a tough run coming up still, right, to finish out the season.
They're going to play the Canes twice.
Yeah, they need to bank these games in order to not only make finals, but ensure that they're not playing the best teams in the competition away from home in round one.
They've got, let me run through, they've got the Waratahs.
Yeah.
Then they've got the Canes away, the Blues at home, the Chiefs at home, the Canes at home.
That's got to be the worst finish to the comp possible.
Hurricanes, Blues, Chiefs, then the Hurricanes.
Yeah, so you're playing the top three sides, and you're playing the top side twice.
They don't have to leave New Zealand for the rest of the year.
Well, that's one positive, but the negative is the strength of draw is crazy. Wow.
It's a crucial game this weekend because the Waratahs are 2 points behind them.
Yeah, right.
And if they win that, they'll go ahead and they'll sort of make that gap.
I feel like they're more than ever now. They need full strength, like, just to get through this. And those are some brutal games where you're going to suffer some injuries. It's almost inevitable. So
Super Round? How good is it going to be?
Looking forward to it. Live show, Sunday at the Carlton. We will both be there. You're heading down for the whole weekend with the Rugby Pass crew, which is cool. I'm only heading down the Sunday. I'm doing a FIFO. Fly in, fly out Sunday night too. But you best believe after the live show, I'll still be having a few tins. I'm looking forward to, more than anything, just checking out the stadium, which I feel like last weekend's games were better than this weekend's games. I still don't mind that Hurricanes-Brumbies game. I think that'll be half decent.
Yeah, there's a rivalry brewing.
And like Landers Moana, some points. Chiefs Drua should be high scoring. But it's more I'm just keen to check it all out. And I think the fans are going to show up. I think it's going to be a good weekend.
Yeah, it should be a good weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Like, just being in that stadium for that famous Waratahs win on Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know. But, yeah. It's just going to be good. It's going to be good.
That, if you're watching the pod, that dangerous grin there from you suggests that beers are on the menu. I think it is going to be a great
Sunday,
weekend.
though, where is it?
Yes, at the Carlton. Doing a live show, myself, producer Henry in the mixer, Piri Wepu, James Marshall, assistant coach of the Crusaders, and of course host of What a Lad, plus hopefully a couple more special guests to be announced, just checking around some player availability because it's tough being the Sunday. A few of the lads I know are playing that day, so you don't want to pester them out of their pre-game routine to do a live podcast at a pub. Hopefully, though, a couple Saders lads, after they win on Friday, keen for a yarn once the pressure has been relieved a little bit. But looking forward to it. Going to have some TAB bonus cash, some giveaways, things like that. And we're just going to chew the fat, talk Super Rugby, talk Moana and around this stuff, talk about All Blacks, some player predictions, some chat like that. Just a bit of banter, really. I believe there's a Waterlad crew of about 50. So they will be 3 days deep by then, a little worse for wear, but sometimes that's when you have the most fun. So it should be a little bit loose, but good yarns all around. So 11:30 till 12:30, the Carlton on the Sunday. That then gives you about an hour before the first game kicks off. Mini little pub crawl, keep the momentum going. Straight into Te Kaha.
How good.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Basketball, just quickly, wrap things up. Your Thunder looking great. Dominated the Suns. That's a 4-0 sweep, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cavs bet the Raptors. I think that'll be a 4-1, 4-2 maybe. Nuggets, T-Wolves. This is a great series. Denver lead 1-0 at time of recording. I still have that preseason bet on. Nuggets at 19s to win it. Do I think they're going to win it? No, but they actually look they look good in that game one. This is one I could see go to 7. I think home court, it could go back and forward to do with the home court advantage.
The longer this goes, the better for the Thunder, in my opinion. I'm just, that selfishly, I'm thinking just the more they go at each other for a long period of time.
Yeah.
I do think the Nuggets are going to win. I think that's also biased because I just don't like Anthony Edwards.
No, you really don't.
I really don't, yeah.
I'm a fan.
Hope he doesn't listen to the podcast.
I'm a fan. Well, I don't know. He seems to listen to random shit or just know about everything going on. So, look, wouldn't shock me, but I would be surprised. Knicks, Hawks. I think the Knicks get that done like 4-2-ish.
Yep.
Lakers, Rockets. Love this. LeBron.
Rockets easy.
LeBron. Lake Show, Luke Kennard. Oh, Kennard's higher. Going off in game one. Lake Show looking good. LeBron and Bronny, first father-son playoffs duo. LeBron said his mum get to watch his son and his grandson lace off in playoffs. That is actually, like, regardless of what you think of Bronny.
That's cool, eh?
That is fucked, man.
Yeah.
Imagine being LeBron's mum watching your grandson and your son play playoffs basketball. That is insane. I'm trying to think of, like,
there's no real
any
comparison.
Kiwi sports star that we could have do it. Like, we need, like, a 19-year-old All Black protege to have a young kid.
I'm just trying to think of any players that play rugby that have got a young kid.
Yeah. Shit, reach out if you think you're the father to the next father-son duo. Celtics, Sixers, I think that's a sweep.
Yeah.
Sixers, unfortunately, just injury still. Maxey will do his best, but won't get it done. We've mentioned the Thunder. Pistons, Magic. I was surprised.
The Magic won this one.
Yeah,
today,
they got up 112, 101. I thought that was going to be a pretty easy one for the Piss.
Yeah, but the Pistons, but they're a playoff myth. They're a really good regular season team.
Okay.
But they won't go deep into the playoffs, I wouldn't have thought. So
I'll still back them to win that series.
Yeah, maybe 4-3, yep.
Yeah, and then Spurs got up over Portland, 111-98. A little bit closer than I thought, but I think Spurs sweep that as well.
Who wins the MVP?
I think Shea. I just think
smiles on my face.
The team was still that good, right? And you got to reward that. And other players, you probably have knocks on for everything, whereas he's just been so damn consistent. I thought Jaylen Brown might have been in the mixer.
He's probably fourth,
earlier in the season. Yeah, he's probably fourth. Obviously, Wemby, Luka. Like, they changed the eligibility. I saw that. They dropped it for a couple players. But, yeah, I think Shea gets it again. He is just that good. Pleasure to watch.
Agree.
Yep. Pleasure to watch. Right, that's us. Bit of a longer pod, but there was plenty to get through. Hope you enjoyed it. Of course, we'll be back here Thursday for your preview. In the meantime, if you're going to Super Round, see you on Sunday. Would love to have a tin with you at the Carlton. Spread the word. How bloody good.